Stitches of love we sow. In this online world we come to grow. Mom and Pop Quilt Shop, where hearts align. Let's embrace the craft and let our souls shine.
Hey everyone, welcome to Longarm Wednesday. I'm Laura Lynn of the Mama Pop Quilt Shop, and we're going to do some basting today on the longarm. This was a project that I picked up from a lady had passed away, and a gentleman and his son were selling a lot of her quilting supplies. They were some older supplies and some older fabric, but I was happy to help them out, and you know, I ended up getting some little score bits in there. This project was one of them, and as you can tell by the back here, it is all hand stitched together. Like all these little bits here are all just hand stitched on. It looks like it's been machined, the blocks together, but yeah, other than that, and this is a flannel, this is a bit of a flannel fabric. It's polyester for sure. It's not perfect. It's got some lumps and bumps in it. I don't care. I'm keeping it, and I'm gonna use it. So the border is very scrappy. I don't know whether it's done by blouses or ties or a mixture of both. It's got a few stains on it, but I'm gonna end up hand stitching it together. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to give myself a baste at this point in time. There is, you can see there is a baseline already in this. I'm assuming just to keep that border part that they had going on. But we're just gonna do some stitch. Okay, I'm gonna work from, and it's not, like I said, it's not perfect. I tried to kind of maneuver this into the corner as much as possible. I do have my base stitch up here for just sectioning out the quilt at the top, making sure around the edge is all sealed up. Now what I want to do is want to lock it in the channel, and I've got 2 stitches per inch here, or sorry, 3 stitches per inch. Oh, immediately went to 3. I don't like that. There we go. Maybe I guess I can go 4. Yeah, that's a bit better. Nice big chunky one. So this is going to keep the whole project together as I'm hand stitching it. Now this is going to be a long journey for me. I'm not going to be any rush to do it. This is another service that your longarmer can provide for you if you wanted to hand baste a quilt. As we can tell, this is not at all square. And I'm just kind of trying to push a little bit of pressure on the back side so we don't get any fold and lumps up over on this side, okay? Because it's not a normal quilting cotton. Okay, that was one of the base stitches that had kind of partially taken itself out. Okay, now I'm not going to use these lines as guidelines to stitch next to. I'm just going to stitch it up the way I like, the way I want to. So now these are about 1 inch apart, so these pieces were probably 1.5 inches cut. There's a beautiful rainbowy log cabin. As you can tell, I'm just putting that pressure on the back side of the machine so we don't get no folds. Okay, we don't want to just skipping over each other there. Okay. Try and get this to lay as flat as possible. I do have a lovely light colored backing for this, and I just put an 80-20 batting in between, and I did piece it. I did piece this batting. Right, this is just going to stay here. So, okay. And then unlock it out of the channel, pop down a little bit. I'm popping down maybe about 3 inches or something like that. I think that's more than enough to be able to do the base stitch for your hand stitching. If this was a little bit more delicate, I might actually go in the other direction as well, making big, like 3-inch squares, but I think we'll be okay with just this one. Guess we'll see when we get to the end. Now I could fix some of those lumps and bumps that I have here, but that would take away the character from this lovely lady and all the time that she put towards it, so I don't want to do that. I want to leave it just the way it is, but I just want to, and that's the reason why I chose to hand stitch it instead. instead of just popping it on the long arm, doing a big edge to edge, and you know, off to the races we go, right? Oh, don't tell me I'm out of bobbin thread. Oops, I think I am. And that is one of the things too with when it comes to doing your base stitches, it doesn't matter what color of thread it is. So am I out of thread? Oops, I got hooked on one of her other side base stitches. Oh, I am. I totally am out of thread. Okay, hold on. Let me go grab another one. It's nice to use up all the little bits and bobs of the bobbins. It's like I lost my bobbins. Okay, found some bobbin. It's a nice dark color too. Oops. All right, here we go again. Here. It's like doing a little dance with your hand. Okay, I'm gonna have to roll it at this point. So I just stop that, unclip the sides. Oh, sorry, there we go. And just crank her up a little bit. And we're just basting. It's not like rocket science or anything, right? Just basting. Oh, I ended up pulling one of those threads. Oh, there we go. It's okay. And there you'll be able to see the backing that I chose for this pretty project. But just kind of be a little bit neutral. Let's put our clamps back on the sides. Just make sure our batting's out of the way of our rollers. Okay. It's like that. Gotcha. Okay, I'm stitching down the sides. Trying to even it up a bit. We'll work the other side as well. You can see there's a bunch of little hand stitches in here trying to keep those bits to that backing, that flannelly square backing. It's definitely one way to do a quilt. Square by square, piece it together. So I'd kind of taken that as like a stabilizing fabric that they were stitching onto. Okay, let's try not to hit those stitches. And those big threads out of the way. I guess we could just start right here, it doesn't matter. Like, I am just doing like a rough estimate of how, like, the distance between each row. Just a little bit of pressure. Some very vibrant fabric in here. It makes me wonder if it was some prom dresses or something. I mean, that's some pink. That's like a bubble pink. Like I said, there's a few stains on here. I'm not too worried about it. I certainly didn't want to wash it before getting it all stitched together. And as I'm working on it, it'll get washed afterwards. Oops. There we go. Well, that's their base stitch. Yeah, we'll keep that there. Ooh, that's velvet. Ooh. I hadn't felt the centers before. It's like velvet. So I wonder if that was like a pair of pants or some overalls or a skirt or something. It seems like it's completely recycled fabrics. But what a lovely adventure. Does anybody recognize any of these fabrics? Or where it might have been from? It seems like the fabric that my mother-in-law would have her caftans, those, you know, airy jammies or day dresses or whatever. I never liked them. I never got into them. I'm a good old tank dress. That's what I like. And then these stitches will be easy just to whip right out once it's all finished. Oh, keep that base stitch in there. There we go. Oops. Yeah, if you really wanted to hand stitch something together, or don't maybe have the means to be able to spread it out glue based or pin based or something like that, you can ask your local longarmer to you know, just do a nice big base stitch for you on it, and then you can hand stitch it, right? Especially if they know you're going to hand stitch it. Sometimes they might give you a bit of a deal. So oh, what a beautiful project to work with. And then of course that layer that she stitched onto is just going to add to the comfort of the to the project. I guess you can't even see because Walt's in the way. So all right, we've got to roll again here. I want to wish everybody a fantastic day. I hope everything is going your way, and sunshine and rainbows. And hopefully you can join us on Saturday, which will be our 7-year stream anniversary that we have been streaming to YouTube. And would like to thank everybody for participating and having fun with us in all these years we've been sharing our times together. Good times, bad times. Makes us a grateful community for sure. A very loving community. All right, okay, I'm prepped and ready to go for the next batch. And you guys have a great day. And we'll see you on the next one. Take care, everybody. See you soon.